My name is David Welch. I'm at Brothers Tech Center today to show you how to install a windshield in Sal's 1962 Chevy pickup here. These are a bit more difficult to install, and we've had quite a few customer requests on them. This is known as the knee knocker because coming in and out, you normally bang your knees on this, and this curvature right here is what makes this windshield more difficult to install than others. But hopefully, with the helpful handy hints I'm going to give you today, you're going to be able to install it with some basic tools in about 2 or 3 hours with a buddy's help. Now, you're not going to need anything necessarily all that special. This is 1/4 inch rope right here. Cloth, I think it is, and I'm just letting it soak in soapy water here for quite a while. I'm also going to take my rubber and I'm going to put it in the sun as soon as I can. Take it out of that package, get it all warmed up, and it makes it more malleable and easier to install on the windshield. I'm going to use a couple of little plastic things here because we don't want to use anything sharp and heavy up against the glass. I will need something like this to hook in a few places and pull the rubber back. You can get some weather strip lube that we sell here. If you don't have that, you can get glass cleaner. If you get the glass cleaner, I like the foaming style. If you don't have that, just put some soap in a bottle, shake it up good, and then you'll have some nice soapy water to work with. And you're going to need a razor to go ahead and take the windshield out. So when I take these out, what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and start here, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut this rubber here. Now, there are different ways of taking your rubber out, but this is the way that I do it. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this rubber until it gets weak enough, and I can go ahead and pull it off like this right here. And you can see how brittle this is over all the years. So give me a few minutes here to get this guy on out, and then I'll show you how to get this back on in. Our windshield's all ready to pop out. You got to remember a couple of things though. You can't put any specific pressure points on it. You want to use an open palm. That's an installation and taking it out. We're going to want to try to pop it out from the top, because if you pop it out on the bottom, it's going to go spreading all over the place. So we're just going to take our palms and we're just going to loosely break the seal that might still be holding on, and then go ahead and do the edge down there. All right, there you go. And this is going to go ahead and come on out. Now, sometimes this glass might just straight up break on you. You might want to wear some gloves. I don't wear gloves because I have to have my hands tough to do this kind of work. Now, this guy's out, we'll clean up the rest. Okay, now I need to make sure that this is all nice and clean in order for my new glass to go in. One of the things I'm going to be looking for isn't just dirt, but along the edge right here, I want to run my finger and I'm going to find any sharp edge that's sticking out. You'll more than likely find several. I'm going to grind those edges down because if my rubber catches on that, it can tear and rip. I'm going to get this all cleaned up, then I'm going to show you how to install it. Taking my rubber out of the hot sun, and the first thing I'm going to do is look for this right here. This is the seam where they're joined together, and I want this seam at the bottom of the glass, and I want it in the middle. In order to find the middle, all I'm going to do is take the windshield and I'm going to put it up against an edge right here. I'm going to measure it. It's coming out at about 65 inches. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to divide it in half. I'm using my same edge right here, and I'm going to measure. I'm going to get it in the middle, and I'm going to mark that. So my seam's going to line up right here. Now I'll go ahead and lay the glass down, and I'll go ahead and start putting the rubber all the way around the glass. All right, with my rubber, I'm going to start in the center, and I'm going to work my way out. Then I'm going to get tape on my edges. Now normally I use painter's tape on this because it's easier to clean up than this right here. Not a real big deal, it just takes me a little time to clean. The corners are going to be the toughest, that's why you see the most tape right here. And when I'm putting this on, I don't like to use any silicone spray or glass cleaner. I don't want the rubber slipping off the glass, which is kind of common. Now that's going to make it tougher to put on. So different tricks you can have that'll put it on is you pinch it at the back, and then that will open up the front and you can kind of get it on there. Sometimes too what you're going to do is tilt it back or bend it back like this and jiggle it on. But combinations of all of those things will get it sliding on there sooner or later. And then once I get it all on and taped up, I'm going to want to let this sit as long as possible. If I can let it sit for days or a week, I will, because the more it molds onto the glass, the less likely it is to pop off when I'm trying to install it. So I'm going to get this on the rest of the way here, and I'm going to let it sit for a bit, and we'll be back. I've let the windshield sit overnight and it's molding on really nice. If I can, I'll even give it several days, but we got to shoot the video for you, so we're going to do this today. So I'm just going to take all this off, then I'm going to go ahead and put in the rope. Now, when you put in the rope, I like to put down something nice and slick. For instance, you can use silicone spray. It's really good. It keeps everything lubricated, but it doesn't soak into the rubber, which is bad. You can use the foaming glass cleaner. It's really good. We also sell a lube that you can use on this, and just go ahead and put it on, and then put it on with your fingers, or you can put it on a dab and then put it on. But I'll get these all lubed up, and then I'll go ahead and I'll stick the rope in. Now this is the thickness of the rope I'm using right here. You don't want to use anything too thin. If you do, it will cut your rubber. So if I can even, I'll go ahead and put the rubber in overnight and let it sit too. It helps expand the rubber and make it a little bit easier to install. But we'll get all of this off of here. Sometimes you'll want to put the tape back on, just the whole things. It might be a little loose or whatever, but this is looking really good right now. I'm going to go ahead and get this all lubed up. And my rope, I've been letting it sit in soapy water for a day or so. So it's really soaked up. Now this is a little trick right here. This you just get off of a caulking gun or something like that, and just cut the hole, cut the back in. And what this will do for you is it'll allow you to install the rope and get it all the way down to the bottom nice and easy like this. So you don't necessarily have to use this tip right here. You can just use your finger. They also sell a special little tool for it that you can get. It's a couple of bucks, but be honest with you, I always just use my fingers because I know where they're at, and it takes me forever to find the other tools I bought. So I started at the top of my glass. Normally I have this rope longer and I get me about 10 inches hanging over, but this glass is pretty big and so it's using up all my rope. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlap right in the middle a couple of inches, and then I'm going to need enough of this to hang down to be able to get my hands on it. And then what's going to happen is when we pull this rope out, you'll see that the rubber bends over, and then that's what allows it to get over the lip. So now we're going to go ahead and get this nice and lubed up, and then we'll go ahead and stick it on the truck after we lube up the window opening of the truck too. Okay, set it down here first. All right, hang on. You gotta go underneath. Oh yeah. Okay, come to my side of here maybe. Okay. Can you get it in? Okay, so I want to get this snugged in as tight as possible. I have to be sure that the left and right side is definitely even. If you install this with it off the one side, it makes it more difficult and it'll give you noises and things like that. So I'm trying to get my top tucked in really nice, get it even, and then on the sides right here, you can actually get it on the channel and slide it right on there. So make sure that that's all set up. and have it tucked into the top as nice as possible, and then I'll go ahead and start to pull the rope, always pulling and tucking in. All right, notice right here that there's this lip right here. See this? And we don't want that lip to tuck in and under. So periodically we have to go ahead and pull this rubber out and make sure it's getting over this outside ledge right here. So when we get it snugged up, we can go ahead and do that on the corner some, and then as we start to pull the rope from the center, we'll go ahead and start to do the center also. But you're going to want to work that edge all the way around. All right, now I haven't even pulled my string yet. I've been spending about a half an hour or so with my two buddies here helping me get this all in, snugged in as far as possible. You got to remember that you got to have to pull this lip out on a regular basis. So we snug it up, we go ahead and we pull it in from the inside and the outside, and then we're going to be slapping on it a little bit. Now this is very precarious when you do this. If you do a sharp point, you will break this glass. You have to have a palm, and you have to be nice and even and not too hard, and basically just kind of vibrating it, jiggling it in. Now let me show you what I'm doing on the inside. All right, now here on the inside I'm always keeping this constantly wet, and I can go ahead and either use my finger and the tool here and pull this on down. Again, I've been doing this for about a half an hour now, and that's why this is tucked in so nice. It's not going to just fall in there for you. It's going to take a while to get it set up this far. Once you have it this far though, then you can go ahead and start thinking about pulling out your rope. But I'm going to have this as far set in as possible before I even start to pull on this rope. You can see this is almost all the way in by itself. Go ahead and tap on the outside there for me. There you go. Good, 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 good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Keep going. Yep. Good, good. Okay, so you can see this is basically almost already in here. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull the rope. I'm going to go ahead and pull one side a little bit, maybe, I don't know, 10, 12 inches. Then I'll go ahead and do the other side. Okay, there you go. Let's go ahead and get some slapping in the center here. Okay. All right, so you can already see that the rubber's tucking in right here. Now I want you to notice how I'm pulling this string down. I'm not pulling it back, I'm pulling it down. So it has to pull down in order to have the rubber pull down too. And if you want, you can get your fingers in there and just kind of help it go down too. So we're going to go ahead and go like this. So got 10, 12 more inches. All right, let me get some slapping here. All right, pulling down this side. Now sometimes when you get the corners, it will get, the rope will get jammed in there bad. So what you can do is just go ahead and do kind of a circular motion like this. And then that will slowly let it go around the corner without getting jammed up too bad. And now that's tucking in real good. Okay, let me get some slapping up in here. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, see how this is just tucking in now. And we're just going to keep that going down the corner now. Okay, keep her going. Excellent. Perfect. Good, good, good. Good, good. Okay. All right, now we're going to go to the other side. So left side, then right side, left side, then right side. Okay. There you go. Let's do some slapping there. Just at the rope. Okay. All right, looking good. See if you can kind of push the rubber in. Okay, so right here, we can see we're not tucking in right here. So what I'm going to do is get on the outside, and more than likely that edge on the outside is rolling under and it's keeping me from moving forward. So let me check that. Okay, so here you can see that extra edge is not folding out, and that's keeping us from going in the rest of the way. Some more lube here, and carefully go ahead and pry that guy out. Oh, she's not playing good at all. Okay, all right, there we go. Good, 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 good. All right. Okay, so just need to work this edge here in a little bit. We'll get our tool and bring this out. See, look at that. That's just falling right in there. That's just beautiful. All right, give me a little bit more right there. All right, cool. All right, so now I'm just going to tap this in some more from the outside all the way around the edges. I'm going to be looking for any gaps in my corners or anything like that, and make sure that this is really snugged up in there. Now I'm just double checking everything. I'm making sure that this lip right here is rolled out correctly. It's a little tucked in here in the top, so I'm just going to use this little pokey guy right here and go around the edge and make sure that it's all set. Okay, there we go right there. How's that looking on the inside? Good. All right. Okay, so you got your lip and you got your rubber here. So we just got to get it sitting on there just perfect. So we're just going to go ahead and a little more tapping and we're all done. So we've got about 2 or 3 hours in this. You can see that it definitely helps if you got a couple of buddies helping you at the same time. Definitely if they're tall and they can reach in the middle. You have to keep constant pressure on this. You have to keep it constantly lubricated. You're definitely going to need to get one of these guys to help you out a lot. You're going to have the glass mainly installed before you even pull the rope out. And then about a half an hour just to set that up. And then pulling the rope out and get it in the rest of the way, that's about another half an hour, 45 minutes. So it's not necessarily difficult, but it is frustrating. Make sure you're in the right frame of mind when you do this, and just be careful when you're hammering. Don't do a sharp point. Be very careful if you're hammering on the corners right here. They're more susceptible than on the edges, and just take your time, man. You can do this. You don't need to pay anybody. You make sure you check us out next week, because I'm going to show you how to do something else you need to know about. So you need to subscribe to the channel at the same time, ring the bells, and leave a comment if it's positive. We'll see you next week, man.